This is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi with another look at Return to Monkey Island news that's been coming out. Specifically, this time we are looking at changes made to the Return to Monkey Island website. There was the gameplay trailer I talked about last time, and this time they, shortly after that trailer came out, the main website got updated. It's interactive. It's a little bit like a little game built in a website. So we'll look at that. The screenshots here are not so different. The trailer we've already done, and this overview part really has some interesting plot details and hints that we have not seen before, including news that this, we'll have to see when we get there, but it's pretty good stuff. So here is a prison. This could be the prison on Melee Island that was in the original Secret of Monkey Island. And we have two characters here. We have Stan, and this is the character we're talking to, and just like in Monkey Island and all the other games in the series, you can pick what you're going to say. This is Otis. We cannot speak to Otis here, but Otis was part of your original crew in The Secret to Monkey Island, and you helped him break out of jail, and he also appeared and escaped to Monkey Island. So it's been a few games since he's been back in the series. Stan, I don't think I'm wrong on this, but I'm not as smart with the fifth one, Tales of Monkey Island, but I believe he's in every game. He's this annoying salesman character. So we see he's in jail. We can see this kind of bobbing animation. I love, once again, this foreground and background stuff. So we get these chains here. I can kind of wiggle back and forth. You see these little spider webs dangling, and these rats here in the corner that kind of pop out. I think is all really fun details. They sniff. Stan's tapping foot, and Hugo's more relaxing tapping foot. So if Hugo's 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, he's doing it at a much faster tempo, and Stan also speaks at a faster tempo than Hugo in these games. Hugo comes off as kind of, why did I say Hugo? That's not Otis. Excuse me. Is kind of manic, but there you go. So let's see, what are we going to do here? Let's try all these choices. So they're referring to Return to Monkey Island. Tell me all about it. Who is making it? I'm glad you asked that, because Return to Monkey Island comes straight from the horse's jaws. It's being made by Ron Gilbert, the original creator of Monkey Island, along with Dave Grossman, and the rest of the team at Terrible Toy Box. You can't buy quality like that unless you buy Return to Monkey Island, in which case you can. You look great. Who did your art? Why, thank you, friend. When you get to be my age, sometimes you need a little spruce up in the art department. And I get mine from an art department directed by Rex Crowley. You might know him from his work on Knights and Bikes, or more recently on Return to Monkey Island. Ooh, nice. What about music? We spared no expense and no amount of trouble to track down the original Monkey Island composers to ensure that this game would fill your ears with the magical pirate reggae grooves you deserve. I personally got down on my knees to convince Michael Land, Peter McConnell, and Clint Bajakian to score. I even took off my hat. Will Dominic Armato return as the voice of the heroic Guybrush Threepwood? I love him. Threepwood, heroic. That seems like a bit much, even to yours truly, the reigning king of exaggeration. But yes, I can confirm that Dominic Armato will indeed be playing the role of Guybrush Threepwood. Are there any marketing features you want to get across while you have me here? This baby is positively loaded with features. Try these on for size. Navigate the sometimes friendly confines of Melee Island, a familiar place that finds itself under new management by leaders who have put the squeeze on old friends and new faces. Venture out to the uncharted lands, like the aptly named Terror Island and the chilling outpost of Bermuda, to make allies and enemies alike. Explosive, is that all you want to tell me? Of course not. I just thought of one of us might need to take a breath. Bringing classic point-and-click gameplay to the modern day, intrepid pirates will solve puzzles and explore the islands with a clever evolution of classic adventure game controls. Context-sensitive interactions, reactive dialogue trees, and an easy-to-use inventory system that makes pirating a breeze. How about piratical details like when and where? It'll hit the Nintendo Switch and PC later this year, but the exact release date will be announced later. But that's standard marketing practice these days, friend. Don't hold it against me. How much will this game cost me? A wise man once said never pay more than $20 for a computer game, but that was over 30 years ago, before inflation slimmed your 20 down from a king's ransom all the way to the price of a sandwich. And that's all we'll do the other choices here too. Oh, this seems like a well-rounded website with lots of information. Thanks, I'll pass it on to the web team. They'll surely appreciate the positive feedback. I'm unfamiliar with how dialogue trees work and I'm intimidated by choices. Any recommendations? Different boats for different folks, as I always say. While you're here, maybe take a look at the other options. I've got nowhere else to be at the moment. And then we'll do the final choice, which is more kind of plot related to the game. And some of this marketing stuff he said we're going to go over in the overview section. Stan, what are you doing in jail? Mostly waiting until they let me out. But if you mean what are the charges, they're calling it marketing-related crimes. I'll never stand up in court. What are marketing-related crimes? Exactly, there's no such thing. I was just directing people with money towards items of apparent value. That's a great description of marketing. That's pretty good. What sort of items were you selling? Nothing. Nothing fungible, anyway. That's the beauty of the whole enterprise, and the reason the charges won't stick. But I'd rather not get into it, really. Don't you want to know more about Return to Monkey Island? I feel like I know enough about Return to Monkey Island. Can I help get you out? If you mean what I think you mean, the judge assigned to my trial historically has frowned upon breaking out of jail. It's a kind offer, but I wouldn't want to damage my chances of parole. How are you talking to me, a real person, when you're a video game character? Just because I won't break out of this jail cell doesn't mean I won't break the fourth wall to sell a few copies of Return to Monkey Island. What happened to your used boat sales business? Through no fault of my own, that business is what you call underwater, both figuratively and literally. But I'm pivoting to provide guided tours of shipwrecks. It's an opportunity. Who is that gentleman in the next cell? That's Otis. Like me, he's a returning character from the previous games, but I can't fault you if you didn't recognize him. Some of us just rise to fame more naturally than others. Can I talk to Otis too? I would love to oblige you, friend. But our friend here couldn't break a fourth wall to save his life. I assume you're in the game. Tell me about your role? Naturally, I steal every scene I'm in, but no freebies, friend. You gotta buy the game if you want to see old Stan in action. Tell me about Loom. That's great. That was a line you asked a pirate in the bar initially. Your knowledge of game history is top-notch, but I'm afraid you've got me confused with a different character. It's been great talking to you, Stan. Hope you get out of jail. I'm hoping that right along with you. Maybe we'll both find out in Return to Monkey Island. What is the secret of Monkey Island anyway? The thing about secrets is that they're secret, right up until they're not. You'll want to do your own research. I'll start with Return to Monkey Island. And that's it. We did all the dialogue choices, but while this dialogue, I don't think will... Oh, actually, Ron Gilbert said it's not going to be in the game. It was all done exclusively for the website. He mentioned it was David Grossman that did the writing for Stan, and he always has done Stan's dialogue, and Ron Gilbert likes to sit back and laugh at the kind of absurd situation Stan is in. You got Stan's big chin, you got these orange rhinestones, this almost like CGI graphics looking combination of sky blue and kind of neon purple going on. Got the long tie, and I love the gold buckles on his boots. They both seem to have the same, not the same shoe exactly, but just similar things going on. Poor Otis looks a bit disheveled. And I wonder if these rats and spiders, a lot of animals in these pictures, and I wonder if there's usually animals in solving puzzles in the game. I wonder if we'll have to do something with that in the Return to Monkey Island game, which we don't have a release date, as Stan just mentioned to us. Otherwise, let's look at the overview. And the stuff of the plot here I think is really interesting. So I'll just read it out loud and then do my reaction. About Return to Monkey Island. Return to Monkey Island is an unexpected, thrilling return of series creator Ron Gilbert that continues the story of the legendary adventure games The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge, developed in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. And this graphic here is great. With the title, you see Murray the Skull being launched out of a pirate ship. You see, I presume this is Monkey Island because you see the big monkey head in the background. You see, I love how devilish, mischievous LeChuck, and even kind of scary looking he looks in this version. Some of the games, they softened him a bit. These three pirates we see in a lot of other screenshots, and they even name one of them, I believe, so we'll talk about that. As he is looking in the open box with the light looking out of him, that's a bit like the Pulp Fiction scene I mentioned on the last video, where you're staring at something where you don't know what it is, and it introduces mystery. And you see Elaine come in, a bit like, looks a little like an Indiana Jones pose there, with the big hoop earrings. It's been many years since Guybrush Threepwood was last locked in a battle of wits with his nemesis, zombie pirate LeChuck. His true love, Elaine Marley, has turned her focus away from governing, and Guybrush himself is adrift and unfulfilled, having never found the secret of Monkey Island. Hip young pirate leaders, led by Captain Madison, have shuffled the old guard from power. Melee Island has taken a turn for the worse, and famed businessman Stan has been in prison for marketing-related crimes. So this is the most we've really had on the plot so far. So this, we can tell here, right, Guybrush is older. He has kind of a gray salt and pepper stubble going on. So it's been several years since he last fought LeChuck. Elaine is not a governor anymore, and Guybrush is also in a different spot. He feels kind of unfulfilled, and because he never found the titular secret of Monkey Island, which hasn't been found in these games, and including to the trailer for this game is what Guybrush is looking for. It doesn't say if we'll find it out. I hope we don't, because I think it's more interesting if you don't find it out. This sentence here I think is pretty significant. Hip young pirate leaders led by Captain Madison. And I look at all three of these characters, and I'm wondering if one of these is Captain Madison, because they're also in this picture here. Could Captain Madison be the one in the middle with the she has the tall head, assuming it's a female, but I don't know. They don't identify what gender the character goes by. But it's kind of young blood versus old blood. It's a classic sort of theme. And what would young pirates consider good that old pirates would consider bad, and vice versa? Is there going to be kind of a big war going on between young and old pirates? Don't really know. Again, I'm speculating here. I don't really know anything other than what I know from playing a whole lot of video games. Oh, hi, Zarbibo. My monitor was just off. Didn't see your chat there. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in with something. Just going through the description here on Return to Monkey Island. So we have banter with old friends and new faces on familiar islands now under dangerous new leadership. Then take to the high seas and explore the new and unknown as you work your way out through tough predicaments. Clever puzzles, bizarre situations, and devastating ripostes are all that stand between Guybrush and glory. Riposte, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. That's it's like a Counter-Strike move when you're fencing, but this could probably referring to like an insult with sword fighting. And abundance of wildlife. And we've seen this in the pictures, a lot of animals. And here we get a scene with LeChuck. Looks like his number 2 dude following him around. We see, this is like bunnies. You see a bird, you see a squirrel, an abundance of wildlife. So maybe the wildlife gets into the plot somehow. Maybe it's more than just giving the squirrel a nut to get the key and so forth. Return to point-and-click swashbuckling, bringing classic point-and-click gameplay to the modern-day intrepid pirates will solve puzzles and explore the islands with the clever evolution of classic adventure game controls. Context-sensitive interactions, reactive dialogue trees, and an easy-to-use inventory system make pirating a breeze. Here the picture says, the usual warm accommodations. Again, like all these other ones, these were pictures from the trailer, I believe. And we see Guybrush, looks like he's trying to get on board the ship, or maybe he's investigating something. We see all these stop signs. We see Murray, the skull, down here. Maybe he's sneaking, trying to hide. And we see this big ladder and these two pirates. These two pirates are different from these pirates earlier, but maybe they'll be characters in the game. These look like new characters to me. Embark on an archipelago adventure. Navigate the sometimes friendly confines of Melee Island, a familiar place that finds itself under new management by leaders with the squeeze and old friends and new faces. Venture out into uncharted lands like the aptly named Terror Island and the chilling outpost of Bermuda to make allies and enemies alike. Old friends eager for a chat. Right. I mean, so this is what we just saw on the main part of the website with Stan and Otis, both characters from the first game. Interesting, there's a chalkboard here. We also see asterisks. So what could all that mean? We don't know. However, it's worth noting on here, back up this picture with the usual warm accommodations. Guybrush is putting this thing with kind of this Illuminati eye imagery, which is similar to this graphic of what's on the Melee Island street. So we'll see what happens. Also, this flag looks to be a pirate flag or something. Although if it says return to point and click swashbuckling, could this not be something like maybe you move your mouse to the side and this pops off, and this is how you choose the verb icon to do or check your inventory, or it even looks like a dead fish. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking this because we're trying to get every morsel we can from every picture. Created by a legendary crew, the exciting conclusion to the Monkey Island series marks the return of the iconic series creator Ron Gilbert, joined by game writer, co-designer Dave Grossman, art director Rex Crowley, Knights and Bike Stairway, and composers Peter McConnell, Michael Land, and Clint Bajakian. Monkey Island 2, Chuck's Revenge. And this is an unforgettable adventure. We see Elaine. We see it looks like a discarded backpack or something here. She has a lantern. We see scribbles all around, and we see here. So, I mean, this sentence here is a very, very significant conclusion to the Monkey Island series. And yet, other people have talked, and it's does that mean it's the final Monkey Island game ever? Probably not. Is it the final one from Ron Gilbert? I don't know. I think that's pretty likely, considering he always wanted to do it as a trilogy, although as loosely formed as the idea for the third game was back in the time, and it just never got made. Now that he's finally getting to do it, I think he's going to put his stamp, and this will be his conclusion. I imagine if this is successful, we'll get another Monkey Island game. Whether Ron Gilbert is involved in a less capacity, I don't know. He also just tweeted expressing interest in doing a remake of Maniac Mansion, in which there's an extra character or two and improved artwork and all these kind of things, and also voices. I would think they would want to add. So and I think that has a lot of potential. The original Maniac Mansion is pretty weird, kind of. You could make some of the design a bit more appeal to modern audiences, make it more fair, I guess. In other words, they'd probably do some kind of in-game. I could really hope that comes to pass, like if they did a version of that with voices and some new characters. Even maybe, you had a few characters that you couldn't have as your final surviving character to beat the game with, and maybe if they did stuff for those characters in Maniac Mansion, that could be cool too. Anyway, this is Return to Monkey Island. We went over some information here on the website. You can wishlist it for PC on Steam or on Nintendo Switch. We have no release date. Sometime this year, we have no price. I'm at Bradley-Tschirgi. If you like, see what you like, be sure to follow and subscribe and all the different verb things where you can. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this look at Return to Monkey Island based off the new information from the website. See you later. Bye.